Okay, welcome back to the second video lesson on the practice paper for Taurangi Year 9, expanding and simplifying. We should remember that the brackets mean to multiply. Everything in the brackets multiplied by what's before the brackets. 2 times C, 2C, 2 times 5, 10, and there are the rest of those for you to have a look at. Let me know if any questions arise. Next part, D. For part D, we are again expanding and simplifying and then combining like terms. Okay, 4x plus 4, 5x plus 35, 4x plus 5x gives 9, and 4 plus 35 gives 39. Similar problem there. You're also going to be responsible for the opposite of expanding brackets, which is known as factorizing. So when you're factorizing, you are looking to find the biggest common factor. And between 6x and negative 36, 6 is the biggest common factor. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to take each one of those terms and divide by the biggest common factor. 6x divided by 6 is 1x, and negative 36 divided by 6 gives us the negative 6. Okay? And you can see for the rest of these, I've taken out the biggest common factor and simplified, noting that on these last ones, the biggest common factor isn't 8, it's 4. So I divide each one by 4, 8x divided by 4, 2x, 12y divided by 4, 3y, and there is the last one. Okay, on to the top of page 3 on the side. Okay, so we are still factorizing, looking to take out the biggest common factor, and sometimes the biggest common factor is going to be more than just a number. 8b, 24ab. So 8b is the biggest common factor. I divide each piece by the 8b, and I get 1 minus 3a. Next one, biggest common factor was 1, so the original stays exactly the same. Next one, w squared minus 3w. W was the biggest common factor. Factorizing that out, w times the quantity w minus 3. Next one, biggest common factor was m. There's an m in each one of those terms. Dividing that out, we get c plus p minus n in brackets. Next one, part G. Okay, so we want to write an expression for the perimeter, and we know that the perimeter is the distance around the outside. So I've got two sides that are 3k, and I've got two sides that are 2k plus 10. And that's what I did. 2 times 3k plus 2 times 2k plus 10. I expand brackets. I combine like terms, and there is my expression for the perimeter. Next one, write a simplified expression for the area, base times height. Well, if the base is 2k plus 10 and the height is 3k, I time those two together. 2k times 3k is 6k to the power 2. 3k times 10 is 30k. And that takes care of page 3. On to page 4. Now we're getting into solving equations. Okay? We're going to be solving equations, working out what n stands for. n plus 2 is 10. We're going to be using our inverse operations to isolate the variable or the letter. So if I want to get the n by itself, and there is a plus 2 that's in the way, I'll minus 2 from both sides. 10 minus 2 gives 8, n is 8. Okay? And that's what you can see we've done with the remainder of these pati. We have used the inverse operations to isolate the variable. 5n means 5 times n. Undo the timesing by dividing by 5. 30 divided by 5 gives 6. 5 minus n is 3. Well, I want to get the n by itself. So I minus 5 from both sides. Negative n, 3 minus 5 is negative 2. So if negative n is negative 2, positive n is positive 2. Now we've got a two-step pati for the next one. 5n minus 1 being 14. We want to get the n by itself, so we're going to be using our SAMDEB to get the variable by itself. Is there any subtraction in the way? Yes, there is. The inverse of a minus 1 would be plus 1 to both sides. 14 plus 1 gives us 15. 5n is 15. Now we divide by 5, and we get n is 3. Okay, same thing, we're using our inverse operations. Next one we get 4. And part B, solving equations some more. Okay, we get rid of the plus 4 with a minus 4, negative 6 minus 4, negative 10. 2n is negative 10, divide by 2, we get negative 5, and the last one, we get 1. on 2, solving equations with x on both sides. What we now see, we have x on both sides, so I want to get all the x's to the left-hand side. We change sides, we change operations, okay? So minus 3x from both sides, 6x minus 3x is 3x, plus 9. The 3x is canceled out, and the 12 stays, okay? To get rid of the plus 9, we minus 9 from both sides. 3x is 3. Divide by 3, we get 1x is 1. Next one, we are going to need to first get rid of those brackets. So we expand the brackets. 4 times m, 4m. 4 times a half gives us 2. 6m plus 12. Get the m's to one side. Negative 2m plus 2 is 12. Minus the 2. Negative 2m is 10. Divide by negative 2, we get m is negative 5. Okay? Be right back with the next video lesson on our practice paper.